Hello everyone and welcome back to KORR Monsters. This week we are in a very wet Oakland, California for the third event of the 2008 season. Our field of trucks features former freestyle champion Christian Holt in that brand new Busted Knuckles we saw debut at finals. Then we have Ward Clayton in Buster, Fred Moore in Comet, Ed Jenkins making the move over to Comedic Gaskets, Kyle Gibson in that brand new Craftsman Tools truck, Todd Yates in Doggone Crazy, Nico Brock in Grim Fate, our reigning racing champion Harper Ray in Linex Defender, the first time we're seeing this driver Max Morgan in Reckless Abandon, then we have former freestyle and racing champion Mike Maxwell in Tonka, former two-time freestyle champion Jack Schroeder in Try Me, and then rounding out our field, we have Clay Dixon in Witch Hunt. Now first up for the event, we go into racing. First four trucks getting a bye run into round number 2 are Linex Defender, Comedic Gaskets, Witch Hunt, and Doggone Crazy. But before we get to see any of those trucks, we have to go through round 1 of racing, which is going to feature Reckless Abandon going up against Craftsman Tools, Try Me going up against Tonka, Buster going up against Grim Fate, and then rounding out round 1 of racing, we're going to have Comet going up against Busted Knuckles. Here we go, first race pulling up to the line, Reckless Abandon and Craftsman waiting on that green light. And away they go. You can see just how wet this track is. The rain's not going to let up, so it's only going to get soupier as the event goes on. Coming around this first time, looks like Craftsman has a bit of a lead over that GMC Jimmy that is Reckless Abandon. Second time over the line, Craftsman extending its lead. Coming around for the final turn here. So far it's looking like nothing but Craftsman, and it will be Craftsman picking up the win here in round number 1 of racing. So these trucks try to get slowed up after their race. Next up, Try Me and Tonka on the line waiting for the green. And away they go. Coming around this first turn, Try Me looks to already have an advantage by a couple of truck lengths. And Tonka with a really bad jump there. Could not get it back under control, and Try Me has a giant lead with still another turn to go. Tonka all over the place. As Try Me's going to get one of the easiest wins I've ever seen to go into round number 2 as Tonka finally crosses the line. Very difficult conditions here as now we have Buster and Grim Fate on the line, pair of teammates. Into the first turn. Both trucks looking like they're struggling a little bit. And pretty even first time by the line. Into the second turn. Buster going really wide in the turn. That's going to give a huge advantage to Grim Fate as we now go into the final turn. As Grim Fate dances around that pole, almost got a penalty. It'll be Nico Brock and Grim Fate picking up the racing win here in round number 1. It's now our last race of round 1, Comet versus Busted Knuckles. Good start from both trucks. Couple of West Coasters here. We've seen Busted Knuckles tour all over the country the last couple of years, but he's sticking to the West Coast now. Comet has the lead. Brand new Busted Knuckles struggled in racing at finals. Looks like he's going to continue to struggle here. Now he's made up some of the gap. Coming into the final turn, who's it going to be, Comet or Busted Knuckles? At the line, it's going to be Comet, getting what has to be considered an upset victory over Busted Knuckles. Then we take a look at our round 2 bracket. It'll be Linex Defender going up against Craftsman Tools, Comedic Gaskets going up against Try Me, Witch Hunt going up against Grim Fate, and then Doggone Crazy going up against Comet to round us off. First race of round number 2, Linex Defender and Craftsman Tools on the line. Good start from both trucks. Coming around the turn this first time. Both trucks looking really sideways. Craftsman, a little bit of understeer there, almost goes off the track. And Linex Defender with a bad landing just gave Craftsman a huge lead. Coming around the final turn, can Craftsman hold on? And coming to the line, Craftsman's gonna miss the ramp. Linex Defender's gonna get the win. Craftsman just had a gift and he gave it away. Because now we have Kinetic Gaskets and Try Me on the line. Now, a lot of these trucks have that newer China tire. Very slick tire, not a lot of tread to it. They seem to be holding up pretty well, but those big chunky treads those Team Try Me trucks have to think that's going to be a massive advantage here. We're coming across the line a second time. Pretty close so far. It's going to come down to this last turn. Both trucks close to the pole. At the line, though, it's going to be Try Me. Kinetic Gasket slid wide coming to the line. Both trucks try to stop. Witch Hunt versus Grim Fate up next, halfway through round number 2. Good start from both trucks. Coming around the turn the first time. Looks like Grim Fate might have a slight advantage. About a truck length going into the second turn. Grim Fate just hucking that thing into the turn. Has a massive lead now over Witch Hunt. Coming around that final turn, Grim Fate hits the pole. Gonna get a 3-second penalty. Coming to the line, Witch Hunt is 4 seconds back. Grim Fate's gonna get the win into the next round. Last race of round number 2 on the line. Doggone Crazy and Comet. Coming around this first turn, Comet was keeping it tight, but big push in the turn. Gonna give a massive lead to Doggone Crazy here. Coming around the second turn, Comet closing the gap up a little bit. Only about a half truck between the two now. Coming into the final turn, Doggone Crazy with a great turn and an easy win for Doggone Crazy going into the semifinals. So that's going to make our final 4. Linex Defender going up against Try Me, and then Grim Fate going up against Doggone Crazy. If Try Me can beat Linex Defender here, we're going to have a Team Try Me racing win. As we wait on that green light, and away they go. Linex Defender a little quicker on the tree, as you would expect from our reigning racing champion. Coming across the line the first time, slight advantage to Try Me. Try Me going very wide in the turn this time. Actually, both trucks are. But Try Me with the advantage right now. I think Linex Defender just got a penalty. Official said he did. Missed the ramp there. As Try Me's going to get an easy win into the finals, which means Team Try Me is taking home at least 1 trophy here. Is it going to be Try Me, or is it going to be one of these two? Grim Fate and Doggone Crazy up next. Grim Fate nailed the light. Coming around this first turn. It looks like Doggone Crazy already made up the gap from that later start. Coming around turn number 2. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Doggone Crazy with a slight advantage. Now into the last turn, Doggone Crazy completely sideways that entire straightaway, getting the easy win over his teammate, which makes our final matchup Try Me versus Doggone Crazy. Once again, another battle of the teammates. Team Try Me walking out of here with the win. Just which identity is it gonna be? Into the first turn, looking good from both trucks. Across the line the first time, it's going to be Doggone Crazy with a slight advantage. You Try Me getting hiked up in the turn. It's going to extend Doggone Crazy's lead. Coming around the last turn. It's going to come down to this last turn. Does Try Me have anything for him? Doesn't look like he does. Doggone Crazy's going to get the racing win here in Oakland. Todd Yates picking up another racing win as both trucks can't stop. But now we move on into Freestyle. We're going to get started with Comet, then we'll go into Witch Hunt, Reckless Abandon, Buster, Comedic Gaskets, Grim Fate, Craftsman Tools, our racing winner, Doggone Crazy, and then we'll have our 4 champions in the field, rounding us off with Busted Knuckles, Linex Defender, Tonka, and Try Me. Now coming out first, we have Fred Moore in Comet. We haven't seen him a bunch here on KORR Monsters. Very dedicated West Coast driver. Mostly sticks around the California area. You can see this track just getting so much soupier after racing. Truck's having a hard time getting turned now. Lining up for that car stack. And he's just going to go off to the side of it. Couldn't hit it straight. Fred Moore's going to go into some donuts here. Not a whole lot you can do with how wet it is. We're going to get a great set of donuts here out of him. The truck looks like it's starting to overheat a little bit. As we come down to the last 30 seconds of the run. Nothing special going on here, but not really sure what these drivers can do in this condition. So you get some air going over that van stack. Big bounce coming off of it. Time for 1, maybe 2 more hits here. We'll have to see where the bar is going to be at with the judges as he gets a great slap wheel. He parks it on the tailgate. And it looks like the truck shut off in the wheelie. He's going to be a 23 to get us started. So the truck's still standing vertical. But next up we have Clay Dixon bringing out Witch Hunt. We'll get us started with a hit on the racing lane. Coming around looking for that next hit. Get some good air off the other racing lane. Try to carry a slap wheelie. Oh, gets on the brakes. And he's just going to nudge the container. Track conditions much worse than they were in racing. He's going to line up for that car stack. Get a little bit of a wheelie going over it. Clay Dixon only in his 2nd year of driving. Doing a pretty good job here on this muddy track. Gonna go for another hit up and over. He's gonna go onto the sidewalls. He's gonna gas it and he's gonna save it. What a move there from Clay Dixon and Witch Hunt. Now it looks like he's gonna go into some donuts here. 25 seconds left on the clock. Looks like he's just gonna do a couple of rotations. And then gets into trouble going over the van stack, and he's going to bring it back down once again. Have to think if it wasn't muddy that he would not save that truck. Time for 1 last hit here. He's going to get some good air off the racing lane. Another hard landing on the side. But time is up for Clay Dixon and Witch Hunt here. All the scores are in, just waiting on him to shut the truck down. And it looks like we're going to get some more donuts here. So you can see that rooster tail coming off the tires. He's going to shut it down. It's going to be a 26 for Clay Dixon and Witch Hunt. 2nd truck out, big number up. But now we have Max Morgan bringing out Reckless Abandon. First time we're seeing him. Another one of these West Coasters. And very unique truck here. It's a GMC Jimmy. Not only is it one of the few SUVs we see here in KORR Monsters, it's one of the few GMCs as well. Mostly we see the Sierra. So he gets a really awkward bounce coming off that bus stack. So far, good momentum out of him. Nothing that big. But he's hit a bunch of stuff. So you get some great air off that racing lane. You can hear him. He's not afraid to step on that gas pedal. Oh, gets kicked off to the side of the racing lane. Coming down to the last 30 seconds of the run here. It's not a bad run. Just gets into a little bit of trouble here. He's going to slide off the track. Officials are going to shut him off here. So the officials have said, if you slide off the track onto the green, they will shut you off. And as long as the truck's not damaged, they will let you continue. So you can see Max here trying to get the truck to turn on the soupy mud. It's absolutely killed the momentum of this run, but he's going to start the clock again with a great hit on the van stack. He's going to combo it up with the other van stack. He's coming around here looking for that next hit. Time for only one or two more hits. He stands on the gas. Gets some great air over that van stack. That might be his last hit. And it looks like it's going to, unless the judges decide to count this next one. He's going to stand it straight up vertical on a sky wheelie. Truck's going to shut off. It's going to be a 21 for Max Morgan and reckless abandon. Kind of surprised with that score. I thought it was a really good run, but judges apparently thought it was missing something. As now we have Ward Clayton coming out in Buster, the first of the 4 Team Try Me trucks. This track just keeps getting wetter and wetter. Getting some good air over that van stack. Now Team Try Me, as we know, very well known for their cross threads. And in these conditions, you have to wonder how that's going to go and if they're going to try them, which they probably are. As a matter of fact, it looks like Buster's going to try to go for one right here. Lining up dead sideways on that van stack. Up he's going to go and over. Yes, he is going to go over. Can he save it? No. 40 seconds left on the clock. It'll be a 16 for Buster. As next up, Ed Jenkins brings out Cometic gaskets. We're used to seeing him in Bull Tilt, but he got a new ride for this year with his Cometic truck. Same chassis, just a brand new body on it. So you get some great air off that racing lane. Lining up for that next hit. He's going to go for the van stack. Get some great air off of it. Big bounce on the landing. The truck getting some more good air there. Sounds like it might be misfiring a little bit. Something might be wrong with the engine on that truck. And it sounds like it just let go on him. 35 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be 17 from the judges as the engine blows up in Cometic. So now we have Nico Brock bringing out Grim Fate, our second Team Try Me truck. Starts this off. Great air off that van stack. Coming around looking for that next hit. He's going to get some great air off the racing lane. Biggest air of the event so far. I cannot believe he got that much air off that racing lane. Even in the dry, I'm surprised he would have got that much air. Ooh, hard into the containers there. He lines up for his next hit, killing a bunch of time here. Very unlike him as he gets some great air off that van stack and another huge bounce. I don't know what it is with the mud here, but these trucks are getting some massive bounces on it. So we come looking for that cross thread. Huge air. Rough landing. Is he going to save it? Yes, he is. 25 seconds left on the clock for Nico Brock and Grim Fate. So now he's going to cross up the racing lane. And now another cross thread over the van stack. Up and over. Is he going to go? Yes, he is. And he's not going to save that one. Just a couple seconds left on the clock. It'll be a 25 for Nico Brock and Grim Fate. So now we have Kyle Gibson bringing out the brand new Craftsman Tools truck. Second event for him in this truck. Didn't quite have the freestyle result he was looking for last time out. So far starting us off with a great hit on the racing lane. Oh no, he's going over again. Just 15 seconds into his run, he's going to get a 6. Not the start to the season Kyle Gibson is looking for. But next up, our racing winner Todd Yates and Doggone Crazy. Starting us off, good hit on the back of the racing lane. So he's feeling out this track as it's getting very wet out here. So you can see more and more water getting splashed up from these trucks, more puddles forming. Good air off the racing lane there for Doggone Crazy. As now we're going to get some donuts here. Make that some cyclones. Hiking up the inside tires. Todd Yates going around and around. Is he going to stop or is he going to do donuts for the next 45 seconds? The truck's on 2 wheels. I think this entire set of donuts, and he's finally going to stop it. What was that, 25, 30 seconds of cyclones? Can he even see straight out of that truck? Apparently he can. Gets a good hit on the back of the racing lane. 25 seconds left in the run here. What has he got? Some good air off the van stack. Gets a cross thread going over the van stack. I think he just blew a tire. It looks like he did. Hard landing on the right rear. That tire is very flat. As that hit on those couple of cars is going to be the end to his freestyle run. Gets into trouble once again. And the truck looks like he just bent a 4-link. But he's going to keep on going. Almost gets on the green. Official's not going to shut him off for that. As he's going to park it on that van stack very awkwardly. But it's going to be a 26 for Todd Yates and Doggone Crazy to tie for the lead. As now we get down to our last 4 trucks. Christian Holt, Busted Knuckles, your 2000 Freestyle Champion up next. This brand new piece, we saw him debut at finals last year. Brand new top to bottom. And from what I've heard, he sold his old chassis to Joe Montgomery and Snow Problem. So that sounds like we're going to have a new Snow Problem here next year or so. But so far, great run out of Busted Knuckles. A lot of fans have been wondering, when is he going to get another freestyle one? It's been quite a while. So far, this run's looking pretty good. Little bit of a save there. Oh, going to get into trouble here. Has to put it in reverse. Judges might count that against him, might not with how wet it is. So he gets some great air over the van stack and combos it up with the other one. Walks a wheelie over it. Gets into trouble. As he almost slides off the track on the other side. That one you have to think the judges might take a point off for. Christian Holt putting on an amazing show here. He's going to cross-thread the van stack. Huge slap wheelie. You can hear the RPM go all the way up in that engine. His time's going to expire here. Judges might count this last hit. They might not. So you get some great air off that van stack. You have to think that's in the contention for the lead. And if not, what is it the judges want? Great transfer there. And he's going to get on the gas and over he's going to go. It's going to be a 25 from the judges. Not enough to take the lead. Have to wonder if those couple of backups are the reason he's not in the lead. But next up, Harper Ray, Linex defender, our reigning racing champion. Getting us started with a good hit on that racing lane. And then going right for the other one, getting some great air off of it. This track getting wetter and wetter. Tries to cross-thread that van stack, and it looks like it popped a tire when it grabbed that van. Or the car. I don't know which one it was that grabbed him. But a flat tire for Linux Defender. Early in the run is now we're going to get some donuts right here in front of the camera. You can see that tire just shredding the bedside off that truck. So he's just letting that Ford eat. Very high RPM in the donuts. Trying to get out of him, but the truck just still wanting to turn left. Great air going over that van stack. 15 seconds left on the clock. What else does he have for us? So he's just hitting anything he can at this point. His time is going to expire here. Tries to get the truck turned. He's going to slide off the track, and officials are going to shut him off. It'll be a 23 for Linux Defender. So not enough to take the lead, as now we have 2 trucks left to go. Mike Maxwell coming out in Tonka, former racing and freestyle champion. Won that freestyle championship back in the old Ash fire extinguishers truck. Won freestyle championship just a couple years ago in this Tonka truck. Oh, he's going to blow a tire on his 3rd hit of freestyle here. Going to blow the right front. If you're going to blow a tire, you want it to be rear. Kind of like that. Unfortunately, now he has 2 flat tires, and they're both on the right side. So Mike Maxwell in a world of trouble here. With over half the freestyle run left to go. Doing what he can in these terrible conditions, and then just adding on the fact he's only got 2 good tires on that truck. Oh, he's almost going to get stuck on that car. 30 seconds left. Going for a cross thread. And he's going to slide off the track and get shut off. 20 seconds left. It's going to be a 21 for Mike Maxwell and Tonka. Only 1 truck left. Witch Hunt and Doggone Crazy still have the lead, but now it's time for 2-time freestyle champion Jack Schroeder and Trimey starting us off. Massive air on that van stack. Coming around looking for that next hit. Good air off that racing lane. So he clips one of those cars buried in the mud. And more great air off that van stack. Big bounce on the landing. Looking for that next hit. Going for a cross thread. Awkward. Very awkward hit. And very awkward landing. Knocked the windshield out of the truck. Halfway through this run, gonna go for another cross thread here on the van stack. Does a twirl in the air, up and over. He's not gonna go. Back onto all 4 wheels for Jack Schroeder and Trimey. Have to wonder if the saves are what gave Witch Hunt the lead, and does what Trimey just did top it? He walks a wheelie over that van stack. Coming down to the last 15 seconds of the run. He's going to put it in reverse here to not go off the track. Looking for that next hit. He's only got time for 1 more. He's going to launch it, going the opposite direction over that van stack. His time's going to expire. He's going to back up once again, but it's after the clock, so judges are not going to count that against him. Jack's going to keep on going here. Some great air over that van stack. Combos it up with the other, up and over. He's going to go hard onto the side. tries to save it, and he's not going to. It's going to be a 30 for Jack Schroeder and Triami. A perfect score to take the win here over Witch Hunt and Doggone Crazy. Witch Hunt almost got the freestyle win, coming out second, but not quite enough with Jack Schroeder in the field. Then we have Grim Fate and Bustin' Knuckles tied with that 25. Comet and Linex Defender with a 23. Reckless Abandon and Tonka with a 21. Then Cometic Gaskets with a 17. Buster with a 16. And Craftsman with a 6. But that has certainly been an interesting show with how wet that track got, especially in freestyle. But as always, let us know what you thought down in the comments section below. And be sure to follow us on Instagram to keep up with everything going on behind the scenes. And as always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week in Houston, Texas. We'll see you then.